I know. It's like, oh man, that was a waste.
Damn. Hey everybody, welcome back to Misfit Corner Comics Presents. This is the artist Andrew speaking, and we are now live.
Oh, I know. Wonderful. Oh man.
Avery likes to hurl insults at me as soon as we begin, and the fact is we weren't live, so everybody missed out on them.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, that was a waste.
You guys have to give me a minute. I'm grabbing my dinner.
We don't have to give you anything.
No, I know.
You give us plenty.
I'm
Plenty of cringes.
I'm very excited. Last weekend at the store, the wall books that I had up. Yes, Top Spot, Burger King. Welcome to the show, man. The wall books that I had up, even though they were only $2 or $3, I sold several of them. I was very happy about that. And I started thinking to myself, I need more wall books up. I need to have more space for books on the wall. It's not because I have a great selection or anything like that. It's the fact that people see them so much easier, and they go, ooh, that's one issue I need. You know, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, you've already talked about this.
Yeah, so I went to the store today. So I know I didn't talk about this yet. I went to the store today, and I did some measuring. And right now I have 3 racks, 6-foot-long racks, so 18 feet of wall books. Tomorrow I'm adding 16 more feet, 3 4-foot shelves, and then a 4th 4-foot shelf underneath the TV. So I'll be able to put up more wall books. And I want the rack that I put underneath the TV, I want to do something special with just blank sketch covers, do ones with actual illustrations on it and so forth. And so I got plans. I got big plans.
Oh, hooray.
Oh, I'm so glad you're thrilled.
Yeah, I'm not.
Tosspot says, late but on time. Hail Raven. As a matter of fact, Hail Raven. Hail Starfire, Hail Terra, all that good stuff. I'm gonna do a Raven drawing tonight, after I do my sketch in my sketchbook, of course. But this large piece that I had planned on working on and had hoped to have done in time for the auction's probably not going to be done in time for the auction. I am going to work on it this weekend, but it may not be done. It's going to be rather large, and I want to take my time, and I want to do it right, and I want to make it look cool. So, in other words, I'm not going to rush. I'm not going to throw the ink down on the paper and be happy with whatever plops out of my head. I'm actually going to plan it out a little bit and make it a nice illustration. At least that's the plan. All right, now that I got my camera set up, it just said you just joined again. Avery. Something's going on with Avery. I'm seeing 2 people, and he's both of them. And now I don't know if he can hear me or not. He's probably quickly got tired of listening to me talk. He's not muted. That's really weird. All right, well, needless to say, I'm working on a large illustration, and I'm doing some layouts for the characters.
Oh, why am I still here twice? At least on my screen.
Oh, no. Now you're only showing up once.
Okay, on my screen it's just showing me twice. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck happened? For a while there, you were double dipping.
Yeah, I left and came back because I was having some issues, and I turned my Xbox off.
Oh, okay.
I left my Xbox on. That was probably eating up some bandwidth. Even though I wasn't streaming or playing anything, it's just it was connected to YouTube.
Okay.
I tried the game captured so I could stream good quality, because loading my videos from Twitch, the quality's god awful. It's all chunky and pixelated.
Avery.
What?
All we heard you say is, I tried, and then you disappeared, and then you came back, and I missed what the first thing you said was.
I was trying to get my the Elgato game capture card working.
Oh, okay.
And that's a no-go.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Yep. I got to find a workaround. Windows 10 only.
No.
Yep.
Oh, well, that sucks.
I have 8. I didn't upgrade to 10 because at the time there was an issue with 10 because there was some it had a problem with Photoshop. It would like really mess Photoshop up.
Yes, I remember when I had a Windows machine, when I upgraded, Photoshop no longer worked anymore.
Yeah, there was a problem. They've worked that out. It's fixed, but I don't know if they fixed it in time or whatever. I wasn't paying attention.
Right.
I think there's another driver I can get, maybe. I don't know. I couldn't find it on the page, but I read somewhere that there is one. But I couldn't find it.
Okay, well.
So
and this is for doing live gaming, right?
So I can stream my Xbox on YouTube. And I'm going to have to buy an older model also so I can do the PS2 and other things because it doesn't have AV jacks.
Oh.
It just does HD.
And those oldies.
I actually should have bought one of the older models, not the best one. Not the newest one. Which sucks, but oh well.
That does suck. I've been looking forward to seeing you do more gaming stuff too, you know?
Yeah, I wanted to. That was part of the plan, was gaming.
Find a way to make it happen.
Yeah. Well, doing it from Twitch, the quality's awful.
Right.
It's just trash.
Yeah.
Like, I have a couple of clips of Fallout stuff you can go look at. And it's from where I streamed it on Twitch, then uploaded it to YouTube after directly to Twitch, and it looks terrible.
Right.
It's almost unwatchable. And if I upgrade to a Windows 10, it's going to cost me like $140 to $200.
Ugh.
But I don't have that right now. That, you know.
Yeah.
Bills to the house. Sort of did me in.
Yeah, I know.
On buying stuff.
Well, that sucks.
It does suck.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen for you eventually. It's just going to take longer, you know?
I did some research, and I found a different capture card. That I might buy one to have one of those too. It's really cheap, and it's made by Roxio. It's only $70. And it has AV jacks and all that. It's like, oh, I could do that. Like, play some old PS2 games. And
my guess is this is something you can't just go to Best Buy and buy. You got to order it directly or something.
There was a time you probably could have got one at Best Buy because it's made by Roxio.
They do. Yeah, they do carry that stuff.
Yeah, well, used to, like, almost every computer, like half the computers you could go buy on the shelf had like Roxio software on them for something. Typically your burning programs for burning your DVDs and CDs typically had like Roxio on it. And it was one of the easiest I remember it was one of the easiest programs I had ever used. Back when I would like download like AVIs and then burn them to a DVD so you could watch them on a DVD player.
Right. See, I never did that. I always liked to buy my stuff. I didn't do a lot of burning and downloading.
No, there was just some stuff there was no other way to get it.
Oh yeah.
Plus, I mean, I could take like any video off the internet. Like if I just found some like music videos I liked, I could download them and burn them to a DVD and play them with that software. Or actually, I eventually bought what you would call a dumb DVD player, but it was actually, some people called them dumb because they didn't pay attention to restrictions.
Oh, I got you.
They just played whatever, and some of those would also play. the cheapest, like the $200 DVD player would only play a DVD in our region, and maybe play some videos, right? Some like family photos on a CD, right? But the $50 DVD player at that time would play MPEGs, MP4s, AVIs, Flash. It would play anything you stuck in there.
Right.
And I always gravitated towards those. Like, here's the nice one. It's $200. I'll take the $50 one. It'll play more stuff. I can rip a bunch of music videos I like.
Yeah, I remember when I first was buying a Blu-ray player, they kept warning you about regions. You want to make sure you get one that covers all regions, and I was like, I never had an issue with that because everything I bought was new, Mm-hmm. But that was like the big concern. You want to make sure you get an all-region player, and I'm like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah. Oh, hey, especially if you're into like foreign flicks or if you're into anime, you want region free.
Right.
That way you can stay on top of stuff.
Yeah, but I ended up never having to worry about that, so none of the ones I ever bought were from other regions and so forth. But that was a concern when I first was looking into the Blu-ray player. That was the one warning I got. Make sure you get an all regions player. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
And I haven't seen Blu-ray players that are. I'm not saying they're not out there, but I haven't seen Blu-ray players that are like the old cheap DVD players that would just play anything they didn't care.
Yeah.
They're more restrictive. I don't like that.
Yeah, I understand. You need to be free, man. You need to be free so that you can express yourself the way you want. And
no, I just want to be able to play whatever I want to play. When I was like really heavy into games, I was thinking about buying like a modded PS1.
Yeah.
That way you could play the foreign games.
It's not something you would go to like GameStop and buy. You'd have to order those.
No, you got to buy it from like there were back in the day. You could get them from some like mom and pop shops because they had a guy who did that.
Right. Yeah, we had a store near our old house that had a large selection of that kind of games. Mike never got into those though. He was never,
Well, back then there was some stuff I wanted to play. I got over it. I don't care now. Whatever.
Yeah. No, I got you.
There were Japanese games I wanted to play, but now I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah, my favorite games were the fighting games,
Yeah, those get old these days. They get old fast.
Yeah, I actually set up that game system thing in the store last week when there was a slow moment, and played some really, really bad 32-bit Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. The last... Well, okay, I bought Injustice, played it, and gave it to Mike.
Yeah.
For the show, but I wasn't like into it. The last fighting game I bought and was like into was back in like, I think it was Dead or Alive 2 and Tekken 3 or 4, whichever the first Tekken was that came out as a launch title for the PS2.
Oh, okay.
And I very quickly just got over it and stopped playing fighting games completely because I owned the game and the people I would play with didn't play regularly, so they didn't want to play it.
I never liked the Tekken games. I just never got into those.
They were awesome. They were way... I liked them way better than any of the other ones.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they were awesome.
My pen is dying. My pen is dying. That's all right.
But, a lot of people that I got a chance to play with, especially like Dead or Alive, wouldn't play me.
Yeah.
Because they were like, no, it's like it's been a half hour of me not landing a punch. Like, it's not fun.
Tosspot says fan subs for anime was my main use for the Roxy. And cheap is good. Dim sucks.
Yeah.
Or DRM is what he meant.
Yeah.
And then D asks, any of you guys use a main emulator? And then Evan Von Scriber says yes. Says I was crazy into downloading all those arcade ROMs.
Oh yeah, I could see it. I could see being into it.
Some of those arcade games are still awesome to play.
Oh yeah, there are people who make really good emulators that you can get, and you'll have them all. There's YouTube videos on there of people that'll show you how to make like what they call a Raspberry Pi.
Okay.
It's this little device that once you build it and you program it right, and they're tiny, you can have tons of Atari games, tons of Nintendo games, tons of Sega games. You can have all these different games on it, and when you switch it back and forth to which one it's going to be,
yeah,
it basically like reprograms the motherboard. Like, I know I'm explaining it poorly, but it's almost like it rewires itself when you switch back and forth, even though that's not what's happening. I'm not good at explaining it. I've only seen like 1 or 2 videos on it.
Oh yeah.
But they'll show you how to make one yourself, and they're tiny, and it'll just have massive amounts of these classic arcade games and Nintendo games and this one little device that's just itty bitty.
Yeah.
Have a ton of playable Atari, Nintendo, Sega, all the classic games.
There's some of those classic games that you just can't beat them. You may be able to beat the games, but they're fun to play no matter where you are.
Yeah. I know what you mean. The fun factor is hard to beat. Gotcha.
Galaxia is my all-time favorite, even though I suck at it. I always like playing it.
Yeah.
What kind of games did you like to play?
I loved Contra.
Oh yeah. Did they ever make like an updated Contra where it wasn't just side-scrolling?
They did. There was one for the original PlayStation.
Really?
There was a Contra on the PS2. I'm not sure. I remember one of the Contra new ones had like Ashley Wood box art.
Oh. You're not going to see that nowadays, are you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I believe it was Ashley Wood.
For some reason, I remember playing Contra on a computer, not on an arcade game.
There was a Contra release for one of the Commodores, I believe. I just watched a video for it. Have you ever seen Angry Video Game Nerd?
No. But I did have a Commodore, so that's probably where I got it from.
He does his bit where he just yells and screams at crappy old games and cusses at them.
Oh,
but his real personality, when he hangs out with his other friends that make the show with him, they just play. They do different things, review movies, play old games. And one of them, they were playing one of the computer versions of Contra. Like, this doesn't look right. Like, the Atari version actually looked better. I mean, the Nintendo looked better.
Okay.
But there was one. That's part of the reason I like watch his show sometimes. I found out about stuff that's like I never knew that existed, and I was, this dude's in our age group.
Oh yeah.
And it's like I never knew that existed. Or I remember that game. It did suck.
Yeah.
I remember renting that game and like going crazy. It was like you just couldn't beat it.
Evan Von Scriber says TMT Arcade for the win.
That was a good game.
It was.
They don't make beat 'em ups like that anymore.
Do you remember the last time we went to an arcade?
Besides Dave and Buster's? Or like
no. I was specifically remembering Dave and Buster's because my company did an annual day at the Dave and Buster's thing, and they gave us these cards that could be used for video games, endless video games. Nothing that could give a ticket, nothing that you could win prizes on, but it was good for all day. And my group of people went early in the morning, and then we were done halfway through, and then me, Mike, and Avery would go back in the evening and continue to use that card. What was the game we played, and we played it all the way through?
Oh,
it was some horror game, remember?
Horror shooter games where you're sitting inside of a cabinet with the guns.
That was so much fun.
You sit inside a dark cabinet, and the seats like vibrate and kind of shake you as you play.
And we kept swiping the card over and over again, and just kept going and kept going. And I think we lost. I think when we got to the end, we lost because you had to. There were certain specific things that you had to do in the game, and if you didn't do them, you were going to lose in the end. And we had no idea that you had to get those things or do those things. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I remember there was like some type of chainsaw thing, and it was always a just about to do it, and then it would do it, and it was just stupid fun.
If that game had been there, that arcade would have been a bust.
Yeah, well, they had a lot of old and stupid games.
Yeah, but arcade games aren't what they used to be.
Yeah.
Used to they were. You know what? They were trying to take all your money. But
oh yeah.
The quality of the game would be addictive.
Yeah.
With certain games,
oh.
like the old. Remember the Nintendo that had like a ton of different games, and then it had Contra. The Nintendo cabinet had Contra. It had Castlevania. Like you could, back in the '80s, you could drop $5, which is a lot of money in one of those, and have a real good time.
Oh yeah. Tosspot says 2D Fighters and Rampage.
Yeah, Rampage. Yeah, that was a good one in the arcade.
Evan Von Scriver says Mike Matei. I guess he's talking about the guy you were watching. And then D and Evan ask, House of the Dead or House of the Dead 2? I don't remember.
It wasn't either one of those, I don't believe. Because
it was
sitting in a cabinet.
Well, it was very much a newer game, but then again, if you think about it, that was back when I worked at the old job, and that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So whatever it was 3 years ago.
It was that style of game, though.
Yeah.
It absolutely was a House of the Dead style of game, but I don't believe it was House of Dead. I could be completely wrong.
I don't remember. I haven't been there. I haven't been back there in years, so I don't know if they still have it or not. So. But that was a lot of fun. And I think that was pretty much the only game we played, wasn't it? There was a couple others that we played around with.
We tried, but they all sucked.
Yeah.
It's like a couple of them were those type of shooters, but the game was either kind of broken, like the guns were kind of broken, or the game just was not good.
Yeah. Hey, Scott. Scott's in the house. How's it going? And D says, I love Virtual Cop. Don't shoot me.
That game was okay, but by now, when you play it up against some of the other, like the good shooters like that, it doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
Like the Alien one either. Like when it came out, it's like, oh man, I'm shooting aliens. Oh my god, this is now when you see it, you're like, starting to play. It's like this blows.
Yeah. Well, there was a Terminator game that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but
But nowadays, it's like ugh.
Yeah, it's ugh.
Yeah, actually, at Mike's Theater, they still have one of the. What was the Terminator movie that had Terminator Salvation? They have a Terminator Salvation. That's the one with the guy that played Batman, Christian Bale.
Yeah.
And that's years and years old, but that's like their big game that they have. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Not that big of a game, but whatever.
Arcades must not be profitable these days because you don't see arcades anymore.
I remember like going to the arcades, but they had made so many games that if you were not an expert level player, you put your money in, you played for 3 seconds, and you were done.
Yeah.
You know?
There was a lot of that. It became that. And now there's not
any of those Dance Dance Revolution games. Is like, I'm not doing that shit.
That's not around that much anymore.
Well, I remember it being a big thing at the arcade at the mall, the one near us. That was one of their big main games.
Before a lot of arcades died, it was one of the last things you saw.
Yeah.
Now there's not that many arcades around anymore. I think that game's a great idea. My fat butt isn't going to play it. But I think it's a great idea. I mean, look how many sloth teenagers that game got to be really, really active.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Plus, it helped give us rhythm-based games, which I've had a lot of fun playing some of the other things. Like, that whole genre helped bring about what became games like Rock Band and Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
If you're playing with a group of friends and you're all hammered, those games are great. If you've got a microphone and a couple of guitars, at least. Yeah. So drunken karaoke in your own home with a bunch of friends.
Oh, yeah.
Hysterical. It's a riot.
I can remember doing that at my parents' house, like Sunday night after dinner, playing the Guitar Hero or the sing-along Garage Band or whatever it was that they had.
Garage Band was my favorite.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun. I remember Charlie being a small dog, and I was holding him in my arms as I was singing and dancing around, and he barfed all over me, and I was like, "What the hell?"
And you don't even drink, and you had a fun time.
I didn't barf. He did.
Yeah, but but you still had fun, and you don't drink.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, those games when you're drunk are fantastic.
Really? Okay.
But they're only if you play those by yourself, it gets old fast. The game wears itself out. But if you're playing with a group of friends who want to play and you're all hammered, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, you know what's so funny is for my mom's birthday, I bought a karaoke machine so that we could do, karaoke at their house. And when I brought it over, everybody was like, Well, I tried setting it up, and I even asked my dad, "Hey, Dad, what kind of songs do you want to sing?" And there was a Willie Nelson song he pulled out of his ass, and I said, "All right, let me get it." And so because you got like 10 free songs with it, so I picked that one, and I picked something else, and I picked Let It Go from Frozen, of course. And for some reason, stop. For some reason, I couldn't get it to sync up with the TV the way you're supposed to, where you can see the words on the TV and so forth. So we never did it. And I told my mom I would take it home and I would play around with it and get it set up so that next time we had a family event, we'd bring it over. I've yet to bring it back. I just haven't had time to sit down. I mean, it's in the living room right now, and Jen's like, every time we go to their house, she's like, "You want to bring the karaoke machine?" She says, "I still haven't figured out how to use it yet."
I think those games are even better than a karaoke machine because, one, you get more songs when you buy that game.
That is true.
2, more than one person can participate at a time. If you've got the microphone, a couple of guitars, and heck, even the drums. I think.
Well, we only ever had the guitar and the microphone. So.
Yeah, but more people can participate at a time.
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun.
That is true.
Again, you really need to be drunk. Playing this game sober, dude, it starts to suck fast.
Well, there's not a really good chance that that's going to happen, Yeah. But all right, let me catch up on some of the chat that's going on. Evan says, with the emulators, you can see that the arcade owners could set the difficulty of each cabinet with dip switches. Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and then he was asking if the game was Area 51. It wasn't, but we've played that one, and that one's a lot of fun, too. and he says they need to fit arcades for VR. I know some arcades did try to do that. I know there are VR games at Dave & Buster's, but I don't know. They have to charge so much for it that it's just ridiculous, Yeah. And Scott says, was just inking some stuff and streaming, but got tired, so now I'm here. Oh, well, welcome here. Finishing some stuff. Very good. And then D says Rock Band Beals was badass. I think the one that I liked, we had it was Guitar Hero Aerosmith.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that was awesome. Oh, and we had the Metallica one as well. But Jen and the kids like the country ones.
I didn't. Well, I lived with roommates. I had my own guitar with a Smashing Pumpkins plate on it.
Mm-hmm.
We had both games. We had a couple of different Guitar Heroes and a couple of different rock bands. And the Rock Band guitar was easier to use, and both guitars worked with both games.
I gotcha.
And the Rock Band guitar was better. But I don't think we had the Aerosmith one. Maybe we did. I don't remember.
Hey, you posted your Jawbreaker pages on Instagram, I see.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm going to have to go through and like those.
Oh, that's cool.
You know how often I go to Instagram,
Yeah. I got an okay amount of likes, but I lost one follower. Every time I post Comicsgate on Instagram, I lose people.
Yeah, well.
But whatever, dude. I don't care.
Poo-poo happens.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's not like you're even out there promoting Comicsgate. You're just doing a sample page.
Yeah, well, I did put hashtag Comicsgate.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go.
What's funny is people don't come at me over it, though. When I say something or post something, they don't come at me. Like the way some of the little bitches came at you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't say jack to me, dude.
Well, I really, really did want to take advantage of that for as long as I could, and they all gave up so quickly,
Oh yeah.
It was like 3.5 days worth of going back and forth, and it was fantastic. And then all of a sudden, it dried up, and nobody wanted to talk anymore. It's like, you bitches.
Well,
wow.
No, they knew what you were doing. They figured it out that you were going to hitch them to the plow.
But I had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, and it would have worked if those idiots hadn't been quite as dumb as some of the other idiots. But it's mostly they're that way on Twitter. They don't get as bad. Like there's people who say I've seen say anti-Comicsgate stuff, right? And they'll be like, "Oh, Ethan's horrible," blah 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 blah. But they're still friends with Art. It's like, okay, if Comicsgate is that bad, if Zach is that bad, if Ethan's that bad, you're still buddies with Art.
Yeah. Well, what's kind of funny is some of the guys who unfollowed me on Facebook still follow me on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, whatever.
Have you ever thought about how many people actually buy Todd McFarlane's and Rod Liefeld's buy Cyberfrog or
what?
Have you ever thought about how many famous comic book guys are in on the campaigns and in on the streams, just listening,
a lot of them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There's some big names that kind of keep like they're staying out of it, but they're looking.
Yeah,
they talk to the bigger people in Comicsgate behind the scenes because they all know each other, they're friends, and they're like they see what's going on.
Yeah. Somebody dropped hints that Rob said something. I can't remember. It was about a month ago. It was really reminiscent that he's been listening in on Comicsgate, and somebody said, "Careful, Rob, you don't want to be in the same something." I was like, man, that sounds a little
one of those thinly veiled.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, creepy. I haven't seen the tweet, but I'm not shocked that it happened.
No.
Yeah. Hey, Kodiak, so glad to have you here, man. How's it going?
I had to when I realized it was a Friday and I knew I've been tardy or missed so many streams that I had to come in and say hi.
Well, I'm so glad you're here. I am very glad you're here.
It's not an obligation, brother.
It's not an obligation, but you're one of our favorite people, so we're glad you're here.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let me catch up on the chat real quick because there's been some conversation going on. So let's see. D says the SingStar was head-to-head karaoke. Okay, I don't think I ever played that one.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Evan says try the Rocksmith.
Oh yeah, that one actually teaches you to actually play guitar.
Oh, see, that was one of the ones my wife asked me about. If there was actually a game that taught you how to play guitar,
yes.
I didn't think there was.
You can buy their guitar. I think you can just use a regular real guitar.
Okay. Scott says, yeah. He says, but yeah, ironically, I was inking, so it was the happy accident typo. Okay. He said he lost a follower or two the other day for whatever reason. Well, it's because you follow us. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I lose people all the time when I talk about Comicsgate, when I talk about it.
Santa Raven says, the champion, and then Evan says, hail Raven. Speaking of which, I'm going to do a Raven drawing, or I'm going to begin a Raven drawing tonight. We had a conversation after the show on Wednesday, me, Rick, and Avery, and I'm throwing this out there to Kodiak as well. We talked about everybody just coming up with an idea, everybody doing something, like picking one character, and we work on it all during the week, and then we put it up for auction and let everybody, and we're doing Raven this week, mainly because Avery was doing a Raven drawing.
You're just copying me.
I'm just copying him, damn it! Just copying.
I did that Starfire, so I'm going to do kind of a mirror image of Raven.
That's right. See, he's pushing the buttons. He knows what you all want. He's pushing those buttons.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to redo a Starfire. The last one I didn't come out.
Yeah. Oh, Tosspot mentions EVS and Mike are going at it on Twitter. Yeah, I saw what that was about. I'm not getting involved in that.
Mike Miller?
Yeah. Mike Miller was saying something about Pride Month, and Ethan was jumping on him for saying, hey, that's not Comicsgate, whatever.
But they're friends. Let them argue.
Yeah. I second that. Yeah.
Two friends are arguing. Let them.
Yeah. Two friends that are in their own right hard to swallow sometimes. So two pills hard to swallow at their own, in their own times.
Dude, you just described me and Avery to a T.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like me and Andrew are arguing. Don't sweat it, guys. Just let us fight.
I don't like thinking of Avery when I say hard to swallow because bear gravy.
Damn it! I knew it. He was going to go there eventually.
But
you disgusting peon.
It's a little thick, but it's that smooth.
Oh, you guys are just bad.
You never grow up past 12. You just get more experience.
Yeah.
Man, my because of having it dropped, dude. It's 80 degrees. Right now it's probably still is, but that's
I was gonna ask. Yeah, how's it going in the house?
Man,
it's rough.
I just got we got just sick as dogs for a couple days there.
Constant heat.
Yeah, and we went to a spring. What was the name of that spring? Anyways, it was like one of those brown colored springs. The water coming out of the spring wasn't brown, but it was sulfur, so you could smell the sulfur. But I tell you what, that was one of the funnest springs.
Was it Jenny Springs?
No, Jenny's is super clear, super blue.
I don't know. I don't go.
Yeah. Oh man.
I just make fun of people.
This one actually has a Civil War castle. I call it a castle because it's basically, it's lime rock that was built into like a bathhouse around this spring. And that was done they don't know exactly when, but they know around the Civil War. And I'm like, whoa, that's all me because I love old stuff like that.
Sure.
But it gives you this platform where you could walk up and jump into the spring. Really dangerous, but really not if you're just, So the kids were doing it all day, and didn't intend to do it because my big behind. I didn't figure, anybody would think I would do it. So my wife gets up there and she finally jumps in, and I'm like, cool, that was fun. She was like, I was like, that's great. I didn't think you was doing it. That's why I didn't do it. And she's like, wait, you haven't gone yet? I went because I thought you went. So
you mean to tell me you let the wife show you up?
I don't care. Show me up. It's better than a broken. Look, I'm a big dude. When you think of jumping, you see these kids jump in and they do pull a accidental belly flop, and you hear that thing like a punch sound from an old Western movie. You're like, yeah, my big behind is not gonna jump off that thing. But once I did.
Is there video of this incident? Please tell me there's video.
No, I recorded my wife, but I wouldn't let nobody record me. But once I did jump in,
the video of the wife. Come on.
Yep. Once I did jump in, I went back like 12 times. I was like, now you know why all these people thought that these springs were like fountain of youth, because it's ice cold water and it's really invigorating, kind of like sulfur water. This one was a sulfur one. So, I mean, that was the end of our 3 or 4 days of being sick. So,
well, I'm glad to hear everybody's getting back on the mend. So,
yeah,
and the rain's coming. The rain is coming.
Yeah. It's that heat making you guys sick, man. Just always being hot and sweaty, always never being able to cool down.
Then packing up in our bedroom with a wall unit, and wall units are notorious for making you sick.
Yeah.
All right, let me catch up on this chat real quick. Let's see. Scott says, I had that very Wolverine magazine once upon a time. Rocksmith is fun for everyone. I lost my real tone cable. And then Eagle chimes in, hey, Eagle, how's it going, man? And then Scott says, I do this for the fun, but if I can save 15% of my insurance at Geico, why not, right?
Awesome. That was funny.
You guys are so
I think
silly.
he's talking about this one.
Dude, I could hook a real guitar to my PS2.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. And I did it with a friend of mine's bass once. I had a game called MTV Music Generator.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this sampler thing you could buy that was like a sound capture device that you could buy, and you could hook a microphone to it, you could hook a guitar to it, you could do all kinds of stuff, and you could record 20 seconds at a time and store it on your memory cards in your PS2. And you could edit the sound.
Okay.
In the game.
Hey Avery, can you look at my screen? Are you in a place where you can do that?
Yes.
Let me know when. This is the magazine he was talking about.
Ooh, an old Marvel Comics Presents. Those were fun.
Yeah. And you know who? Your boy Mark Texieri.
Oh, cool.
Old school 1991 stuff.
Oh yeah, early Tex.
Yeah.
Not too early, but yeah.
Just like right in that.
Right before he really got big. That's.
Yeah. Would this have come out before Ghost Rider, or would this have been riding the chops of Ghost Rider?
I'm not sure.
Either right before or right after, because
right before.
Well, Ghost Rider wasn't just him; it was Javier Solteras that did the layouts, and he did the inking, and then he just blew up because of it. So
right. Yeah, I'm wanting to get a whole bunch of his Wolverine books because somehow they're out of my. I had every issue of Wolverine from 1 to 100, but yeah, I probably have closing in on a quarter of that now.
You know, I actually have to look at some reference for Raven because otherwise I'm just drawing a girl. I'm drawing a rather voluptuous one too. I don't think Raven's very voluptuous, but I don't care.
Draw her that way anyway.
That's right, because that's how I want to draw. Oh, yeah. I did Raven, and it brought up birds.
Yeah, put in Raven.
I'm almost afraid to
draw. Put in Raven George Perez.
Ooh, yeah, the only.
That's what I did for Starfire, but I should have done it sooner, or else her costume would have been. That's my take on the costume.
Oh, when she was first introduced, she wasn't a kid. She was an adult, wasn't she?
Yeah, dude. The little kid versions of all the Teen Titans is a relative new thing.
Well, no, they make her a teenager nowadays, but when she was first introduced, she was an adult, or at least that's what I remember of her.
They were all like 18 or something back when, weren't they?
Well, they were the Teen Titans, but
yeah, but they weren't like 14, 15.
Why did she wear the white costume?
I don't know. I wasn't a Teen Titan reader.
My sister was, but she would have forgot. I remember the day she gave all her books away and it's like, I'm done with comics. It's like,
well, good. More for us.
Yeah.
Huh. Anybody watch the Teen Titans show? Is it any good?
Which one?
The live action one that's on.
Oh, okay.
New turd? No.
I've heard it goes between meh, watchable to I don't like it, but I don't hear anybody say like it's aggressively awful, like the new Batwoman.
Oh, dude, I tried to watch Supergirl. Oh, I can't. Ooh.
No, I knew better.
Trash, dude.
Dude, yes.
Ooh.
Where did you start? Did you start on the first season, or was you already like?
I tried to watch part of the new season. I'm not even. I can't even make it through the second episode. I'm just like, you're just awful.
I actually heard that from a female fan that you don't want to watch it because it has nothing to do with her words, not mine. She said the third season has nothing to do with Supergirl, and that's weird.
It's just like each season of that show just gets worse and worse.
Yeah. You know, that brings up to there's somebody I want to like, and I do like him. I like him, but I just, he drinks the Kool-Aid by the gallons. That's Kevin Smith. Like, he would be such a cool dude to hang out with. You got a friend like him. And so, but now that, it's just like, I think he more wants to be liked, so he just goes with the
politics. Look at his old stuff, dude. It was so
raunchy and
politically incorrect.
He still says things that are technically politically incorrect, but he gets a pass.
That's how he gets a pass.
Right. But the thing is that I don't think he's doing it in the forest.
A long time ago, like, how he used to make the gay jokes, right?
Yeah.
Well, he goes, I think he said his brother's gay. He goes,
his brother's gay.
Brother, he thinks they're funny.
Yeah.
One of the organizations, like GLAAD or somebody, came after him.
Yeah.
And trying to make it, being all, and this is years and years ago, it was before the whole SJW thing. He goes, I just made a big donation to them, and they shut up.
Oh, wow. Well, I was about to say, if GLAAD can go after Ellen, GLAAD is out of control.
They went after Kevin Smith, way back when he goes, I just made a big donation, and they shut up.
But that's a good thing. I mean, that's a good point because there seems to be some, at least maybe it's sprinkled, but there seems to be some dialogue I'm seeing where I'm able to once again go and David Letterman. Wouldn't watch his new stuff because he started getting real preachy, but it didn't seem genuine. It seemed like we just said, like protection. He's protecting himself. Well, his latest season has Kanye, so I watched that today. And, Kanye is very, very, one, he's got mental issues, so that makes it worse. But he also is very, very pragmatic attempting. Does that make sense? So anyways, the very fact that Dave was willing to have that conversation, and he does, he several times makes his point, which is a leftist point. But it seemed like a good conversation, and he had Kanye.
But he's only going to have it with someone like Kanye that he can.
Right, absolutely. Somebody who's going to stand up to him. Yes.
He's not going to have that conversation with Ben Shapiro.
No.
Who can wreck him?
Yeah. Yeah. His producers wouldn't let him have somebody like Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, what Kanye said was kind of in the. I know the argument. I know it well. So,
he probably misspoke and
exactly. His heart. The thing is I would have never thought I would be like, Kanye West's heart is in the right place until you hear him and you hear that. Especially when they started off the interview, they just started off on fatherhood, and something they had in common or whatever. Because David Letterman became a father really late in life, So, there was a stream one time, and they were all joking. I think it was EVS, and it's just satire. But they was like, real men don't cry, and everybody's blah blah blah. And I was like, real quick to jump in. I was like, any man here who's had a child, and I'm typing it, and I think it was Mike, but it might not have been. Because it just seems like it was somebody less likely to get scolded or teased, but was like right as I was about to push send, was like, every man here who's had a child cry. Oh, I think it was Ethan himself. I think he was backtracking like he does, like he on purpose.
Are said in jest. They're hyperbole.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
God,
it's just meant to irritate SJWs because they don't. Yeah. Understand jokes.
Well, he's one of those ones. My friend Richard said, when people first meet me, they think I'm horrible. I'm like, bro, I thought you was the most vile person in the world. But once I didn't really, that was a joke because I did get his sense of humor immediately, and since his sense of humor has a lot of references to the 80s and stuff like that, I get immediately that he's not being serious, and Ethan's a lot that way,
I'm a lot that way. I just tame it down a bit. Every once in a while, it comes out a little bit. But that's the reason I'm like, why are people taking what he said seriously? When they get like really upset, I'm like,
yeah,
that was not meant to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, don't listen to anything I say.
Yeah, I say horrible, dude. I say horrible things. Sometimes I do it just to watch people's reaction because to me, that's the joke.
Yeah.
Well, he's a bad influence on me because he'll say something really horrible and then I'll try to say something really horrible and completely miss the mark. I mean, totally.
Yeah. Oh, God. You think Andrew's cringy when he's like eating Peeps and licking his fingers? No, it's worse if he tries to be edgy. Like, he misses it completely. It's just like, whoa! It's like,
yeah, but yet when he doesn't try, he will hit things out of the park and then not realize he hit it out of the park.
Yes, exactly. Exactly right. Andrew doesn't understand how to tiptoe up to the line, do that little mischief, little dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee, that little dance, dee-dee-dee, like you're in a Bugs Bunny cartoon, and then stick one toe over the line, go tee-hee, and then back up.
Yeah.
Just go way over. So when he does nail one perfectly, it's a pure accident, and he usually has no idea what he just said.
Which is 90% of the time,
I just pictured everything with a finger in his mouth going tee hee.
Yeah, that's me. That's what I'm doing. I'm going tee 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 tee.
Bro.
And I'm looking to see now who's going to get bent out of shape over something obviously that stupid.
Not me. Nothing you ever say offends me.
Sure it does.
Hey, Tank. Tank's in the chat.
What up?
Oh, Tank, you have a package on the way to you. I forgot to text you the tracking number and all.
Did you?
You'll get it in a few days.
Did you send that one out to Manny?
Yeah, that one's already. I haven't sent him the tracking number yet either. Ah, crap. Hey, come on! It was an accomplishment that I got it to the mail.
Yeah, true.
You know,
I gotta give you credit.
But yeah,
get a tracking number, and then that day it's gonna show up.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that's always a possibility. I think they said it would be there by Monday. So, whatever.
Oh man, I'm almost nervous to sit here and try to draw something because it's been like a week and a half since I've drawn.
Well, you suck, man. You got to draw every single day. You know that.
You try to draw when sweat is pouring on your paper.
Yeah, it does suck.
Yeah. Eagle says Avery is a troll.
I am, and I have to curb it because I want to be a professional and be like, here, buy our comics. Buy my comics. I'm going to do this comic. Please buy it. When really what I want to do is I want to get online and I want to piss people off.
Remember what Howard Certain said? No, and you know what? Remember what Ethan said? Ethan said he was doing the same thing, and then he just finally turned his filter off, and that's when things blew up for him.
Yeah.
Oh. Everybody's asking about my Raven picture. I did it on tracing paper because I'm going to resize it because I made her head a little bit too big. So I'm going to, in Photoshop, fix some of the proportions and then redo it. But this was just my little quick layout. So Tank asks, have you considered my commission request? If you're talking about the ferret in the tank, yes, I've thought about it. I've actually played around with it, and
you should.
It'll happen. It'll happen eventually. It'll get
Andrew, you're almost as bad as Elliot. Almost.
Name me one artist that actually, commits to something and gets it done on time. I mean, we try, but
I've never missed a deadline.
Oh. That's also because you don't have children and a dog and
excuses.
Yeah, you don't have nearly as many excuses as I do.
Children, I would just cage them. Dog, I would just throw out.
Yeah, I know. But actually, I was kind of surprised when I was looking at reference for Raven. She's never had like a sexy costume, like cleavage showing type costume.
Yeah.
But it was so great. I mean, it was yin and yang.
You'd think the goth girl would be.
Yeah.
But she showed some leg. I'm looking at it right now. The George Perez, the white one, the white.
Oh yeah.
Outfit.
Oh yeah.
All right, I got.
Tank, you don't have to throw any money in.
I think my dog's outside, guys. I'll be right back. Abby.
Okay.
That's Avery's way of saying that's where the dog belongs, outside.
Yes, it's a Doge.
It's a Doge.
Hey man, if I had money, I would have dogs, but I also don't think I could. I wouldn't own the dogs I want if I lived in Florida. If I stayed in Florida.
Yeah, I got you there.
Because I think it would be cruel to have one of those dogs and live in Florida. Actually, I wouldn't have just one. I'd probably have a couple.
I don't think your backyard's big enough for a couple dogs. It'd be good. I think your backyard's perfect for one dog.
And I would want to live in Alaska if I owned this type of dog. It's the Caucasian bear dog.
Yeah.
The Russian bear dog.
Nice. I just got the notification. They're doing the Friday night auction in a half hour. So
yeah. Have you ever seen one of these things?
Oh, the one you're talking about? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they look like a bear.
Mm-hmm.
They're huge. They were bred to hunt bears, and they're massive. It's like I want large property in Alaska, and I want 4 of them.
Now, see, I like the size of my dog. He's
your gerbil.
He's not a gerbil. He's a Jack Russell, and he's perfect.
AKA gerbils.
He's perfect. He's a very well proportioned dog. I had a conversation with somebody. I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and they asked how old he was, and I had to stop and think. And I think he's either 10 now or he turns 10 this year.
Getting old.
So, but yeah. Bye, Tank. Tank's leaving.
Bye, Tank.
Go get some work done. That's
Man,
right.
that's a really good idea. You should. I mean,
what's the idea?
The Tank ferret idea. That's
yeah.
Tank brought that up a few weeks ago.
Actually, he brought it up a while ago. I've been thinking about it for a while. So
why haven't you done it already?
Because I've been busy.
Because you overextend yourself.
Yeah, well, that's the other term for the problem.
Yes.
You know. Hey, I'm doing a Raven drawing. Something I haven't drawn like a real comic book character in a long time. So,
what characters should I do next for sample pages, man? Like, I did this, and I feel like I'm starting to get back in the groove. But
dude, you need to do Graveyard Shift.
Graveyard Shift?
You need to do something like that because that is so much up your style, your train of thought. I mean, it's got huge bulking characters. It's got hot chicks. It's got everything that you draw well. You know.
I'll start.
I love these pages.
You know, and another one that would be good for you is Outworlder. Isn't that the one by what's his name, Ben Hennessy?
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of right up your style too. But I don't know if that's enough exposure for you. You know.
No, I'm not as familiar with it. I have Graveyard Shift.
Right. That's why it was the very first thing that came to my mind. So. Joshua says, "What? Every Raven costume is sexy, beautiful, elegant, flattering, perfect, better than Starfire's, and the best thing ever."
Well read. That's yes. Well said and well read. What are you trying to do them for, Avery?
I just need new sample pages, man.
Yeah.
I haven't drawn sequentials in close to 10 years, like finished sequentials.
Eagle says, "Tell Avery to draw Deathlock."
Oh yeah, God, that's a classic character. You know, Avery takes commissions, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Marvel character.
Yeah. Deathlock.
Yeah, I bought some Deathlock UK issues out of the theater not long ago. They're in that massive stack. I need to start going.
You mean Deathlock 1 or 2? Oh wait,
Deathlock 2, but they're UK Marvel. They say UK Marvel.
Oh, I was thinking of Deathlock. Then I went to think. You said UK. I was thinking that made me think of Death's Head. Which one did UK have Death's Head or Deathlock? UK had Death's Head, right?
Death's Head was Marvel.
Both
but it
Deathlock
was their
and
Marvel.
Deathlock and Death's Head is Marvel.
Yeah.
My favorite look of Death's Head was something that looks like it would come out of UK. You know, it's and 1 and 2, but I always like the look on 2. Deathlock is the superhero that's kind of like Spawn. He's basically looking for his body type kind of cyborg.
Depending on the artist, Deathlock was a cool character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I really like what's his name? Dennis Cowan.
See, I wasn't a big fan of Dennis Cowan on Deathlock.
I liked it.
I liked Mike Zeck Deathlock, you know.
Oh yeah,
that one classic cover where it's like a close up of his face, and it was that was awesome.
I picked up that Deathlock trade paperback not that long ago.
Oh, okay. I remember seeing it. I never picked it up.
I think that might be in stack. No, I may have shown that already. I just haven't really. So much of this stuff I haven't sat down and read yet.
Why was Deathlock in DC?
No, there's a character that's very similar. They have a lot of characters.
No, bro,
their version of Deathlock was like Cyborg, you know.
No, this is either fake or it's a team up. I'll show you. I'll share if I can figure out my screen here.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking Death's Head UK is one of them. I got confused for a second. Yeah, Deathlock would be. What the heck?
Okay,
yeah,
Evan
what the heck is that? That's.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is a team up. Because look at this. Oh, it's fake.
Cyborg and Deathlock. Okay, it's a crossover.
Yeah, those are fake. I don't think those ever happen.
Yeah, they look fake.
Yeah. Look up the Mike Zeck Deathlock cover. That was so cool.
Mike Zeck. Like,
Mhm.
I do like some of the Dennis Cowan covers, dude. There's one that I really, really like that's Dennis Cowan, but I think it's inked by Kent Williams.
The Zek is with a CK.
I was wondering why Common.
Yeah, right there, that very first picture with the close up.
Oh yeah.
He did the Captain America Wolverine one too, didn't he?
Oh yeah, where Wolverine's like slashing the shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Mike Zeck. It's awesome.
Mike Zeck's awesome. Evan Von Scriber says Deathlock is a band. That's a different spelling, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Death Clock, not Deathlock.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did that too. My friend pointed me out. I was like, nope, it's Death Clock. And I'm like, that's badass. But for 2 seasons, I thought it was Deathlock.
Yeah, I think Avery would kick the crap out of a Deathlock sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that collects Deathlock sketches, though, you know. They brought him back recently in the comics. He was part of X-Force for a while there.
Oh.
And he had a presence on X-Force and storylines within X-Force. I don't know if anybody even cared, though, you know. Didn't they do a Deathlock in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show?
Yes, it's the dude. He used to be on Buffy.
Oh, really?
Spike?
No, Gunn.
Yeah, he played Gunn on
okay. See,
Yeah.
I've only watched like 3 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah, I'm far behind the times. You know, I've got like the first 2-3 seasons of Supergirl. I still haven't watched more than the first like 10 episodes. So
you're not.
I'm so far behind, guys.
You're not missing anything, man. It's one of those things where they start off promising, and it goes in the toilet super quick.
Do you know I own like every season of Arrow except for like the most recent one that was released because they didn't do a steelbook case of it, and I've only ever watched season 1.
You're not missing much, man.
I know, but I own them all. So one of these days I'll sit down and I'll binge watch them all and love it.
Yeah, you won't make it.
Batman Ninja Turtles was pretty fun.
I didn't get it.
I
went to my Target and they did not have the steelbook case.
For the first time, went with the classic blue Neil Adams Batman.
Really?
They even went with the Neil Adams Ra's al Ghul.
So.
Cool.
Yeah. I went online and it wasn't available online. And I'm like, what the hell happened? Oh, well, that explains it. I just went to my steelbook case list, and turns out the steelbook case was canceled.
Oh wow!
That happens. They've done that before, especially at Target. Yeah. That sucks. Because that's what I wanted to get, and I'm not buying them if I can't get a steelbook case. So
sure.
Avery, you'll be really happy to hear Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad, and Justice League are all getting steelbook case re-releases at Walmart.
I think he just collects it. Just collects it to give you cringe.
You know what's so funny is I've got a stack over here next to my drawing table of at least 15 steelbook cases I've yet to make videos about. You know? That is so sad. I buy them, I love them, and I put them aside, and I forget. Why the heck is my screen all fuzzy?
You know, kids, can is it really illegal to shoot,
your children?
Yeah, I'm probably right now in this day and age with the whole, fight against abortion and stuff. Probably shouldn't have made this joke, but yeah. Can I shoot my kids?
What you need to do is
I want them to live, but just writhe in pain quietly.
What you do is you shoot them, and then when you call the police, you tell them that your kids attempted to kill you, and you put knives in their hands to make it look like they were coming at you with knives.
See?
From what I understand, that didn't work recently in the news, but it'll work for you. Yeah. I know it will.
And they call Avery the the evil, sadistic one.
Oh no, he has nothing on me. In all honesty, he's just talk. Me, I'm action. No comment. Okay.
Huh? I'm sorry, I was checking messages.
Okay. No, I told you guys. I asked my wife one time if she would be one of those wives who would stand by me even if I turned out to be a serial killer, and she said no. And I said, well, then there goes that job opportunity.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, you can't. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I know. All right, I'm turning off my camera. For some reason, my camera does not want to work right now.
No, Andrew, that's a bad Andrew.
Yeah. Uh-oh, Dillard's in the chat.
Yeah.
He's asking Joshua something. He says Batman versus TMT was totally awesome, and then Dillard asks, "Where can I watch that?"
Dillard flies in and flies out a lot, but tell him I missed the mask. Oh wait, I can tell him myself. I missed.
No, you cannot. I'm muting you right now. You cannot talk to him.
I missed the master class. Haha.
I'm muting you because you can't talk to him. You cannot talk to the chat. Oh, and Joshua says he got it from Redbox. JP's in here and he says, "Who are these people?" Oh, Kodiak, I'm so glad you figured out how to unmute yourself. You're not a boomer like Doug or something, you know?
Yeah.
Ah, well. Yeah, what was the last steelbook case I got? Oh, the How to Train Your Dragon 3. That was freaking awesome. And I haven't made a video of it yet. Actually, you know what's so funny is I had stacked up a bunch of Lego videos that I had done. And I did the videos and I did the builds and so forth. I just didn't put them together in the final video. And then Avery got on me for doing Lego videos while we were supposed to be doing something else. So I stopped doing them. And I've got like 6 or 7 of them in my folder for my YouTube folder that I just need to just put them together and throw them out there. So that's the reason why one of them went up today, is because it had been sitting in my folder forever being incomplete because Avery told me stop doing it.
Yeah, because we were doing the campaign and you're like,
oh yeah, that's what we were doing. Yeah.
Oh, I don't have enough time to do that right now. I'm like, dude, you did like 3 Lego videos. Priority. The campaign is more important.
I know.
Nothing else is as important as the campaign when you have a campaign going.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And unless you're willing to give the campaign 100% of your time, do not start one. That's why there's not one going on right now, because I can't give 100% right now. But hopefully within the next few months we'll have things ready to go, because I'm still working on
especially with your viewer base growing too.
Yes, that is true. Hey, Commodore, how's it going, my friend?
It's all good in the hood.
Now that you're here, we're closing it down. I'm just kidding.
You're looking okay. You're looking forward to Iron Skies?
Iron Skies? What are you talking about?
Is that
game or the movie?
That movie.
The comic.
No, I don't know.
Is it a comic on the game, on the movie, I mean?
I'll put in the chat.
All right, put it in the chat. Is it a new campaign?
My finger.
All right, let me.
Ew, what the hell is that? It's growing.
What's growing?
Something on my desk.
Oh.
I haven't been in my office in like a month because.
Oh, I remember them talking about this one. I remember seeing some of the early pages. This is really nice. Here, let me show. I
heard Elliot talk about it or something.
Yeah. This one actually looks really nice. But I don't think these guys have made the rounds yet on any of the channels. So, Christopher Rue from Wichita.
Is the background noise from me too loud?
No, it's not too loud. You're okay.
Hey, Commodore.
Hey.
Yeah, I remember seeing this page specifically because of that looks really nice. The coloring is awesome.
So what is it, Avery? What do you want?
That AMD processor you were telling me about?
Yeah.
I went to Iron Sights, the same people that built my current PC, and I built one just to see that processor with the 32 core, like 128 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
Dual Titans, that one that's past the 280.
Yeah.
Dual Titans, 24 gigs of RAM each.
Well, I'm not a big NVIDIA fan. I don't like how their drivers work.
Yeah, but those were my only options. But it had dual those, and I put like individually sleeved wires and like liquid cooled, all this stuff. I think it was like $11,000 almost.
Nice.
I was like, oh my god.
Okay, somebody asked what this was. This is Iron Skies, a steampunk and sorcery comic that follows the crew of the Fallen Hope and their adventures. I mean, it looks really good. It looks fantastic. So it's definitely
one of you sharing it.
If I wanted a super,
I had been sharing it. I just stopped sharing it because you guys start talking about emulators and so forth.
Well, I wasn't talking about emulators. I was talking about computers. Oh well, yeah. But if I was gonna get a super expensive computer, it would have to emulate x86. Though it's power PC, secure.
Okay. I think I can make this thing, whatever it is, my pet.
Oh God!
What thing?
Whatever you found under your desk.
Yes.
That's disturbing, man.
Okay.
It's a mutant.
Enjoy your pet cockroach.
It's not a cockroach.
It's got fur on it, he said, so.
The cockroaches have fur?
Not in Florida.
Yeah, I think so. Not
in Florida, maybe. They might.
North, they have fur. Down here in Florida.
They don't have fur, but you can put a saddle on them and ride them here.
Not yet.
The kitten likes to hunt them here.
I just pricked my finger, gave it to him, and it grew.
Is that like didn't that happen in
Little Shop of Horrors?
Oh no, I was thinking of Stranger Things. Didn't he feed it blood?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
That was a callback to
Yeah.
Dude, everybody that doesn't know this, Netflix upped your subscriptions by $5. And that sucks because I was already wanting to
Netflix sucks these days. Yeah, you like it. Like the whole point of Netflix is to make it so convenient that piracy is almost obsolete. Like it's supposed to be more convenient than piracy.
Yes.
Thing about me is I love. Oh wait. I hate SJW. Love the civil rights movement. So there's a couple of things.
It's not the culture war anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
well, the SJW feels like they're still in the civil rights movement.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
A lot of stuff that happened in like this throughout like the 70s and 80s, the 90s.
And a lot of them they believe in negative rights. You know,
right.
like what are you saying?
We're going to talk about what I want to talk about.
Yes. Awesome.
All right. Since somebody brought up steelbook cases, there are a crap load coming out next week. And I just wanted to bring these all to your attention. We'll see how many of our watchers we can get rid of real quick. We have Batman vs. Superman reissue from Walmart, Suicide Squad reissue from Walmart, and Justice League reissue from Walmart.
Will you close that for me?
I already have all three of those, so I'm not interested in any of those. This might be interesting. The Conjuring from FYE, The Warriors, Batman, and The Last House on the Left.
Which Last House on the Left?
It's a horror movie.
There's like more than one of them.
Yeah, we got which one? The original, the good one?
All right, I'll go to FYE in just a minute and we'll find out. But they have some.
The Left is one of those movies. Just buy it on DVD for $5 out of the bin.
Yeah.
You need a steelbook case. The Conjuring, you don't need a steelbook case. Just get a $5 Blu-ray. You're good.
What about The Warriors though? Come on. When's the last time you saw The Warriors in a steelbook case?
I don't need a steelbook case for anything.
All right, they got wide releases of Piranha from 1978.
Ooh, I'll lead.
Pop Star Never Stop, Never Stopping. I have no idea what the hell that is. Ghostbusters 1 and 2 in a 4K edition. and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 2, which is actually a DVD in a steelbook case. That's weird.
Really? They have that on steelbook, huh?
But they're releasing the Universal Classic Monsters 6-movie collection at Walmart.
I have the whole series of Power Rangers, but it's on kind of this I guess cardboard thing that has like a book in there.
Yeah.
And then it features on one disc.
Yeah, then they're doing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reissue on wide release, and the one that I've got to get,
the Norella
Captain Marvel 4K edition at Best Buy.
Oh man, I swear to.
Hashtag not my Captain Marvel.
You know, I still haven't seen the movie yet, but the steelbook case looks really nice. So.
Oh well, then you should. Andrew will skip a good movie that he likes because he doesn't like the steelbook case, and buy a trash movie because he's like, I like the steelbook case.
Yeah, it sounds like him.
And it fries my brain every time I see him do it. Even though I know he does it, it just warps my fragile little mind.
This is why I'm here, to share in the pain.
It hurts me. Like, he'll be like, I hate that. I don't like that steelbook case. I'm like, yeah, but it's a great movie and it's cheap.
I've never really felt your pain until he said the words, I want to buy Captain Marvel. I literally have a headache right now.
Yeah, dude, like, Andrew will hurt you so bad, so deeply.
I already had a headache.
I think he's laughing right now. I think he's laughing at us.
No, I'm looking into which Last House on the Left movie this is, and it's
the original.
Wes Craven's, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. $34.99? I don't think so.
See, classic. Plus, you don't need to see a movie that old on Blu-ray anyway.
Oh, here's the Warriors. See, $17.99. That's a little bit more, you know.
Still,
this Craven. I have this weird kind of nostalgia. Like before, like I had like a weird, like false memory of watching one movie, which was a blend of The Burbs and that was
The Burbs. I love that movie.
Yeah, it was a blend of that and what was the Wes Craven movie? The one with the people on the stairs, right? I remember that being the same movie, like for some reason, until I saw them separately. It's like,
false memory.
Yeah.
I
remember Tom Hanks being played by I think it was Dan Aykroyd or something. Yeah, weird.
You probably got it confused with like My Stepmother is an Alien.
Oh God, I forgot about that movie.
Which has Allison Hannigan and Seth Green both in it when they were kids.
Oh wow, really?
Yes.
God, I haven't seen that movie since it came out.
Allison Hannigan played his daughter, and when she goes on her first date, it's Seth Green.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
All right, what else is coming?
You've never seen My Stepmother's an Alien?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Oh, you need to watch that. It's
on Steelbook.
So great.
So
it's so great. It's Dan Aykroyd.
Andrew, what else is new on Steelbook? Oh, sorry.
Kim Basinger.
Which I had the hugest crush on for
dude.
Freaking long.
Dude, that movie was so funny.
Oh, that Beetlejuice Steelbook looked good.
Yeah, they did. There's an FYE exclusive, but then they did the same exact steelbook case for Best Buy.
Oh, that looks amazing.
Well, see, this is one of the ones where it's just the disc. It's like there's no digital code or anything. It's really disappointing.
I think they got rid of that because, like, okay, they got rid of Ultraviolet. But Voodoo is still a thing.
Yeah. Charlie, why are you barking?
$13, not bad. That's real good for a steelbook.
Yeah, but FYE is really weird. They get a lot of Best Buy stuff too. Like it's almost like
I like the Pet Cemetery one too.
God, remember when FYE was a freaking brick and mortar?
Yeah. Like this one right here, the Kingsman. That's a Best Buy exclusive. For some reason, it's like FYE bought up all the ones they had left. And
oh yeah, the FYEs in the mall were one of the places you had to go to buy certain things.
Yep.
Like some new animation is out on DVD. Just go to FYE and get it.
All right, what else is on the list?
The original House.
Let's see. Well, that's it for next week.
Okay, which is better, House or House 2?
House 2 is actually a better movie.
Yes, I love it. Stupid fun. It's like a guilty pleasure of everybody.
Yeah.
Did they remake that, by the way?
What, House 2?
That's the one with the gunman at the end of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Love that movie. Well, I can't say I love the movie. I tried to watch it. Oh, hello.
They had the worm dog, and what else did they? They had the bird, the dinosaur bird chick.
Yeah. I like them both, but I do like House 2 better.
Yeah.
Everything is like a MacGuffin and like a plot armor for a little bit, and it's just stupid and ridiculous. Everybody just loves it.
Yeah, it's really entertaining.
I like that the gunman reminded me of the Jeepers Creepers guy.
Oh, do you know who voices the gunman?
Mm-mm.
Frank Welker.
Yeah, I knew that.
That's why he sounded like Dr. Claw.
Yep. It didn't everything in the 80s voice play. You know, he's like the number one when you talk about how much a movie he was in, how much money it brought in, and a property he was in, how much money it brought in. He's like number one of like all stars.
Nobody ever got fired for hiring Frank Welker.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
he was the dog in Spider Friends.
Yeah, he now voices Scooby-Doo, but he's always voiced it, Fred, even since 1969. Huh?
I kind of like some of the really old Scooby-Doo cartoons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think we talked about this before, but the 1970s TV show called The New Scooby-Doo Movies, like it's all of them except for one episode with the Addams Family is on Blu-ray. It's on a almost complete collection. They couldn't get the license from MGM.
Oh, that sucks. That was one of my favorite episodes when I was a kid.
Man. I suppose you can always torrent that or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that was good stuff, man.
Always good.
Maybe
Always.
MGM might release it in a separate Blu-ray or something. I don't know.
Man, when it comes to things like that, people need to sort of like chill.
Get their heads out the ass. Well, again, the licenses for the celebrity appearance was a pain in the ass in general, because like when they released it on DVD, they were missing a shitload of episodes.
That's not surprising.
And also, that what was real nice of Warner is they had a missing episodes DVD. So if you already bought it on DVD, you don't have to double dip and buy the whole Blu-ray.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was nice of them.
Yeah, I kind of like it when they did that, you know? There was also a time where if you bought like an entire collection of something, you could, if you had like copies of the proof of purchases from it, you could send it in and the companies would send you like a slipcase box that you could put the sets in. You know, that's back when, you know, they cared about the people that actually bought their products. Oh, well. All right, I just got the notification. The auction's starting now, so everybody's going to start abandoning. They already started to abandon. I think it's because we were talking steelbook cases. So,
Yeah,
all right, I free you all to go out and have a wonderful weekend. I hope everybody stays out of the heat if you're in Florida, and stays out of the rain if you're also in Florida.
God, I hate the summer.
Yeah, well.
Okay, let me rephrase that. I love the summer just as long as I'm in Alaska.
That would be nice. I told my wife I want to move somewhere where it's cold all the time, and she's like, well, bye.
I love the winter in Florida.
Well, when you're cold, it's a lot easier to warm yourself up than it is to cool yourself down when you're hot.
Yeah, you can put on more clothes. If it's like 40 degrees.
Yeah. The only problem about winter is it only lasts about 10 days here. I mean, literally, it only gets cold for 10 days.
I mean that period of time where the days don't really get above 70.
We call that football season.
Yeah. I like that period where things. It's like it's either around 40 or 50 or around 70, and that period's actually a few months.
Yeah. But
actual cold, we don't have a lot of it.
We just started the hot season. It's only just begun, like within the last week and a half.
And it's already getting ugly.
Yeah.
My wife keeps giving me trash for wanting to move down to Miami area. I don't want to move to the city part of Miami, just the greater Miami area, because it's more tropical and you can grow more tropical stuff. And she's like, hurricanes, blah, 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 blah. But somebody's like, so it'll be that much hotter. I'm like, yeah, but it's a constant breeze, and it's the cleanest city in all of America, maybe even the world. I can't remember, because of the Gulf Stream.
You want to know something interesting I learned recently?
What's that?
The country called Canada doesn't exist. There is only Snow Mexico.
Snow Mexico.
Oh, you gotta save that for when Rick's here.
Yeah, that was good. All right, on that note, thank you all for coming by. Appreciate it. Check us out Sunday night on Rick's channel, which is Cross Comics. We are going to be there for the auction, and hopefully everybody will have multiple items to sell, and everybody out there
I thought you was going to say multiple something else.
Multiple dollars to spend. So, all right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for stopping by, and catch y'all Sunday.
Multiple orgasms is real.
Oh, good God. Not for Kodiak's wife.